All right, I'm going to show you how to play a two-player game of How to Save a World. You are going to place the main board in the center. Based on player count, you're going to put these black discs on the spot. There's ones that say 2, and then 2 and 3. So in a two-player game, you're going to put out all 6 discs. You're going to stack the reward tiles at the end of each track, going from the one that shows 3 in the corner to 2 to 1 for all 3 colors. You're going to grab the facility tiles that are marked A and B, shuffle them separately, and keep them set off to the side for future use. You're going to make a supply of all the different tag tokens. You're going to place the asteroid marker so that its leading edge is in this very first circle, like so. You're going to make your stack of threat tokens going in order from 3 to 8. You're going to make sure you have separated the starter action cards and boost cards as denoted by their starting symbol up there. You are then going to shuffle the deck separately, place them next to the board, and dealing out 3 of each color. You're going to place the progress board near the main board. You are going to separate all the cubes by color and keep them by the board, by the progress board, however you lay out your table. It's all up to you. You are then going to place an amount of asteroid cubes, 1 per player, into the bag, and then having the bag easily accessible to the side, typically near the progress board. Each player is going to choose a color, take the matching player board and all of the matching player pieces. I will say we are playing with the deluxe version. I'll include a link up above to the unboxing where I kind of go over what the differences are, but you aren't going to have the shaped meeples, you aren't going to have these markers in different colors, etc. So to set up your player board, you're going to be putting the denoted resources at the start spots. There's a little start arrow, a little start icon at each spot. You are going to put your baselines at the 0 level. You're going to put your technology cubes off to the side. You're going to put a disc at the start of each of the 3 project tracks and 1 at the 0. You are going to put 2 of your landers on Alaria and 1 on the moon. You are going to get a starting boost card, and you're going to get randomly dealt a starting action card. Each player is then going to get dealt 2 species cards, looking at them, choosing one to keep for their hand, and discarding the other one. We just stick them at the bottom of the deck. You'll then determine first player however you so choose. The first player will get the first player token. The second player will then kick up their knowledge by 1 level, and then other people will get more based on player count. At this point, you are ready to begin the game. On your turn, you are going to do an action. You're going to do one of 3 things. You can use an Express Shuttle to go from one planet to the other by spending 1 energy, as denoted there. So I could just spend 1 energy, take this lander and bring it down to here, or bring this one up and do it there, and that would be your entire action. The second thing you are able to do on your turn is you can play an action card. Action cards have the yellow back. When you look at them, they're going to show a negative energy right there, and then some form of action underneath it. In order to play the action card, you'll just simply spend the energy, put it in your discard pile, and do the denoted action. The starter ones all give you a chance to either work on the shields, on the laser, or on the evac. As you look up here, the other action cards do various other things. And the final action you can do is you can place your lander on an available location and take the designated action. Before I get into all that, I'm going to discuss tags because some of these are in relation to tags as well. So you have tags in a couple different options. You have these tags that you're able to gain throughout the game that will just go on your player board in their designated spot. As I said earlier, you are limited to having 5 of those tags. There are also tags located on the cards that you can buy or in your hand with the species cards. You'll notice the other ones out here, some of the action ones don't, but these ones do have tags on them. So, for placing a lander, you're going to place it on an available location. In a 2-player game, a location is only available if all locations in that site are unoccupied or if it is an unlimited action. So if my opponent was here, I would not be able to go here because this site has someone in it. However, my opponent was here, this is an unlimited spot, so I would be able to go to that location. So going over the locations, these 4 are all very similar. These are basically grab the denoted number of resources. So this would be 3, 3, 3, 3, and 2. If you look at this bottom, it shows 2 times a spent tag symbol. So for each of these, if you go down here, you would get 2 of the denoted resources per Earth tag, Alaria tag, planet tag symbol you want to spend. So if I had gone here I could discard this card from my hand for its tag, and I can flip over this tag, which would be 2 tags times 2, and I would just increase this resource up by 4 spots. So that is the same for all 4 of these. The next spot we're going to go over is this develop strategy. This allows you to purchase new cards. If you go to this top spot, you can purchase a new card per Earth tag you spent, just like I had shown you. Or this bottom one is you can get 1 card or add 1 ingenuity. Ingenuity is a wild resource that you can spend for anything. In order to purchase a card, you're going to choose what card you want to buy. You are then going to have to spend the designated resource as denoted on the back of the card, so blue, green, and yellow. And the cost of the card is going to be how many cards you have total between your hand and your discard pile. So at the start of a game, it would cost 3 to buy a card. There are 3 different types of cards, as I said. So this top row, I've already kind of gone over. Those are action cards. Those are cards that allow you to do actions by playing the cards and spending energy. We've gone over those. Species cards are cards that will give you end of game points. They have 1 of each tag on them, and on the front of them also, they have what you're going to get points for come the end of the game. This final option here is boost cards. Boost cards are going to get played after you do a specific action, and that action is denoted in this box, and then once you play it after someone does that, you'll get the bottom thing. So for example, we are going to look at my supply overflow. This is the card you start with at the beginning of the game. So for the instance, when I had gone here and gained my 4, I could have also played this, and it says, play after you gain a resource, gain 1 more resource of that same type, which could have given me an additional green had I done that. So again, when you go to buy a card, so let's go say I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these. The boost, I would simply spend my 1, 2, and 3 because I have 3 cards. I would take the card. I would then slide these over, refilling the deck. The amount a card is denoted when you purchase a card. So if I was going to be buying multiple cards, I would have bought that first card for 3. The next card I buy this turn, even if it's right away, would cost 4, etc., and it progresses up that way. The next spot is advance the evacuation. Advancing the evacuation, raising the shield, and building the laser all fundamentally work the same. For the evacuation, this top spot means you work on it once. The bottom one means you work on it as many Earth tags or as many planet tags as you spend. The laser and shield, same thing. These work on it once. These ones would work on it as many moon tags as you spend. Again, flipping them or discarding a card if it's got it. When you work on one of the projects, what you're going to do is you're going to advance your disk the amount of spaces. As I said, this was 1, so I would just simply move my disk 1 space. You then are going to pay for the advancement. The advancement is listed below down here. So these first 3 spaces are 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, you pay for the ones you enter, not the ones you leave. So again, in this instance, I would have to pay 1 green, going down as such. You then are going to add 1 project cube of the matching color, in this instance green, to the bag. And you're going to do that for each step you advance. So had I advanced 3 steps, I would have added 3 green cubes. Next, you are going to gain the current reward at the end of the track. You are only going to gain the reward once, no matter how often you move. In this instance, this symbol is to raise one of the baselines on my 4 resources, not counting ingenuity. So you would just simply lift the bar up like so. Finally, you're going to see if you were the first one to reach certain spots. You have these spots with points above them and these ones with the arrows. So had I moved into here and I was the first one here, I would gain 3 points. And then this arrow means to discard the top tile from that track. Again, you will receive your reward before you discard that tile. So you will get that one. I will not get that as my reward if I move to this spot. If another player lands on that spot later on, they do not get the points and a tile is not discarded. It's just the first person to reach each designated spot. So that is all the locations out here, and we've already gone over the laser and the shield. There's 2 spots left up here. You have your research spot. So in this instance, you can do 3 research. This is 2 research. This is an unlimited spot. Then you'll notice this has this little extra bar denoted here. This means that there is a special way that you can do this one, and this is you can spend these science tags as knowledge. So, had I gone here, I'm able to do 3 research actions. You do your research actions up here in the tech lab, and each one has a denoted knowledge cost. So first we're going to go these up here. These ones are your basic ones, and you can do these multiple times. For 0 knowledge, you can just simply raise the baseline of your knowledge up 1. For 1 knowledge, you can raise your blue and green. For 1, you can raise your energy. For 2, you can raise your ingenuity baseline. And for 2, you can get your choice of tags. So I could spend 2 and say, you know what, I'm going to want another science tag. And again, you can use the science tags in order to pay for these. So if I'm here and I still have 1 action left and I want to say get another tag, I could spend my 1 knowledge and my 1 science tag and thus be able to get another tag, and we'll say the moon tag. You have your level 1 tech here. When you unlock these, paying the knowledge, you're going to simply place your cube there to denote that you have unlocked it. You can unlock these in any order. This top one is when you do the Express Shuttle, you would be able to immediately act after you do it. So if I had this one unlocked and I used my Express Shuttle to fly up to here, I could then immediately go ahead and do my action. Same thing if I used it to come down here, I could again go and immediately do my action. This next spot is you can spend any resource to go ahead and do the Express Shuttle. It does not have to be energy. This next spot is you can turn any 2 resources into one of a different resource. You are able to do this multiple times on a turn. This next one is you can use your science tags as any tags. So in the instance of this one that wants the moon, if I had that unlocked, I could go here, spend my 2 moons here, and then even use my last science tag to, in essence, have 3 moon tokens and work on this 3 different times. These bottom spots are going to give you a 1 basically resource discount when you purchase cards for each cube you have there. So if I end up having 2 cubes there and I want to buy a card right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 2. A card would only cost me 2 resources at this point. Your level 2 tech is going to gain you points. For this first row here, you are going to gain a point if you perform this action at least once on your turn. So it's working on a laser, advancing the shield, or raising the shield, advancing the evacuation, or getting a card. Again, you will only get 1 point, even if you do those things multiple times on your turn. The second one here is per filled slot. You're going to get those if at least one of that project cube is drawn at the round end. That will make more sense when I explain how the round ends. But basically, if one of those colored cubes gets drawn from the bag, you're going to get points equal to how many cubes you have in that slot. So that's the research action. Finally, you have the take the lead action. If you go to the take the lead action, you are going to take the first player marker, and you are going to raise the baseline of your ingenuity up 1. The whole rest of this space will come into play at the end of the round. So speaking of the end of the round, we are going to be going back and forth, placing our landers on different areas until we both pass. You're going to pass when you have nothing else to do or you don't want to do anything else on your turn. You're not allowed back in. Then once both players pass, you are going to go into the progress phase, which is the round end. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to see if anyone's in this take the lead spot. If they are, they may now immediately take 1 action on the moon that is available, so they couldn't come to raise the shield, but they could do the research, build the laser, and eventually there will be more locations here. If by doing that action they are unlocked the ability to do other actions, such as buying an action card, they're not able to do those. Buying the action card would have been their last action. You then go into the next step of the round's end. So in round's end, it started with the person who is in the take the lead spot going and doing another action. You then are going to advance the asteroid 1 space. If something happens on that space, you are going to go ahead and take care of it. In this first instance, you are going to be adding a new location from the A stack. So we are going to simply take one of these, flip it over, add it where it says A, and that unlocks a new action you are able to take on the moon. The spot after that is you are going to be adding a cube per player into the bag, a black cube per player into the bag. You're also then going to reset. You're going to discard the last card in each row and slide all the cards down and refill that row. So, but again, this is where it started. So we are going to then move into the next step after we have advanced at 1 space. We are going to draw bags from the cube equal to the threat level. In this instance, 3. So we are going to simply grab from the bag and we are going to grab 3 cubes. You are then going to place any of the colored cubes on their track on the progress board. Any black cubes, you're going to advance the comet or the asteroid by one more spot, and then the black cubes go back into the bag. Again, doing whatever is on those spots, which we've already done, adding the cubes, etc. You're then going to check to see if the asteroid has gotten to this symbol, or if any of these tracks have gotten to that symbol. If they have, the end game is triggered. Otherwise, you're going to start a new round with the round start phase. In the round start phase, you're going to be moving these shuttles. So these shuttles have, or the landers have different spots on these actions. So you'll see this one right here. It's got this little rocket on it. It means when I send this one back, they're going to go to the other planet. If that one isn't there, they simply go to where they started. So all these would then come up to here. You're going to advance the threat level to the next one just by discarding that token. You're going to reactivate all of your spent tags, and you're going to grab all cards from your discard pile. You are then going to see if any of your resources are below the baseline level, such as my knowledge. You are then going to raise it to that baseline level. If one's above it, that is fine. Just if any are below it, you are going to raise it to that level. Then the person who has the start player badge is going to start the next round, going back and forth. So moving into the end of the game. So if the asteroid crosses this symbol, or one of the tracks gets to that symbol, that triggers the end of the game and the arrival of the asteroid. So the first thing we're going to attempt to do is fire the laser. So you're going to take the bag and you're going to draw out 10 cubes. You're going to look at these 10 cubes, and any of the asteroid cubes or the cubes that match that project, so in this instance pink, get drawn. You are going to place them on the pink track, seeing if it has reached the end. All other colored cubes go back into the bag. It has not reached the end, so we are now going to see if the shields hold. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at this board and see if there's any cubes in these spots that carry over. There are, so you're going to take them and bring them down to their designated spots. You're then going to do the same thing. You're going to draw 10 more cubes from the bag. Doing the same thing, you are going to grab any blue cubes this time, placing them in that row, and then any black cubes and placing them in that row, putting the other cubes back in the bag. You're now going to see if this one succeeded. If this one didn't, the evacuation is a success. You're then going to move into endgame scoring once you find out which project was a success. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to see which project was a success. In this instance, it was the evacuation. You're going to look at this track and see who is in first on that track, and they're going to score 18 points. Second scores 10, and third scores 5. So looking at this track, I am the first in first, so I would get 18 points. Coming back here, you'll see that blue is on top of the black disc. Whoever is on top got there last. So black in this instance would be second, blue would be third, so blue would get the 5 points. You then are going to score the other 2 tracks exactly the same way, seeing who's in first, second, and third. However, in this instance, they are only going to score 8, 6, and 4 respectively. So in looking at this instance, blue technically got here second, so blue's in second, I'm in third. In this instance, I'd be first and they'd be second, moving their discs accordingly. After you've scored those, each player is going to reveal their green cards and score for what their condition is. This quiblet is 1 point per moon token, so I would get 2 points for that. At the end, most points is the winner. So that is the basics of how to save a world. I hope you enjoyed. As I said, the main difference when you get to higher player counts is these black discs aren't going to be in the certain locations, and these spots open up to where you could start going into the same site. Alrighty, so if I could go ahead and get you to head down below and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell, all of that would be appreciated. If I could also go ahead and get you to check out Miniature Market using our link down below. If you make a purchase with that link, we do get a portion of those proceeds to help fund this channel. Alrighty, so get out there and be a world saver.